Hey, what's up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to Get Hit with the Truth. So today we are doing the What's Next on Liam Wilson, the now former world title challenger, following his hard-fought first loss to Emmanuel Navarrete, as he was challenging for the vacant WBO title, and he went in against the veteran Navarrete and got a like I said, a hard-fought. He suffered a hard-fought ninth round TKO loss in which he put Navarrete down earlier in the fight. You know, he really came for the title in this one. You really got to hand it to Liam Wilson for putting on a good show against a top fighter. And I had Navarrete as the number one guy at 126, and moving up, just his resume, what he's done, claiming the title there, I got him number one. So I think Liam Wilson absolutely deserves a top 10 spot following that performance against Navarrete. And he really shouldn't be hanging his head, because I don't think people, myself included, gave him much of a chance. But he showed that he can bang at 130, and that should open doors for him down the road. So the big question is, what's next for Liam Wilson? Well, he can come back and take tune-ups if he wants, but maybe we can see him in there against somebody decent. Let's run through the top 10 and see what possible options there are. We start with Oscar Valdez. Not likely, because Valdez is probably going to fight Navarrete next. Now, that's not locked in stone, but pretty clear that this is the fight both men want. If Valdez were to take a tune-up fight, I don't think he'd want to risk it against a guy like Wilson after his performance. So I really believe Valdez wouldn't be an option. Shavkat Rakhimov's next. Now, depends on promotion. I don't know if Wilson is a true top-ranked guy, because it was a mandatory fight, so the fight had to get made. But if the fight is possible in the second half of the year and Rakhimov's looking for an opponent, I think Liam Wilson's a good option. But I think Rakhimov's going to try to go for something bigger, because Wilson is coming off of a loss. Next, number 3 is Hector Luis Garcia, the WBA champion. Sorry I'm saying number 3 and stuff. This is based on my top 10 from the beginning of the year. But Hector Garcia next, WBA champion. Again, depends on promotions. But Hector Garcia might have to make a mandatory himself, and he's also with the PBC. He's coming off the loss to Gervonta Davis. So I think there is a possibility that he's going to have to fight Lamont Roach Jr. if he wants to hold on to his belt. So as of right now, I'm not seeing a showdown with Liam Wilson being possible. But you never know. Next is Robson Conceição. This is an interesting one too. If Conceição doesn't get an eliminator or a title shot next, I could see, like, another eliminator opponent. I could see him fighting Wilson in a title eliminator to get a world title shot, given the way Wilson fought. So I think this one is a very real possibility. Number 5, Joe Cordina. Joe Cordina is fighting next against Shavkat Rakhimov. I personally think he's going to come up short in that one, but he also is a United Kingdom fighter. He fights out of the UK. So maybe him and Wilson could lock horns in the second half of the year. If Cordina becomes the world champ over against Rakhimov, yeah, maybe a little less likely. But if he were to lose, which I think Rakhimov's going to win that fight, I can see Wilson and him locking horns, but we got to wait and see. Next is Lamont Roach Jr. Not likely. Lamont Roach I think he should be in line to fight Hector Garcia for the WBA belt, but I do not know for sure if that's going to go down. But in his first fight back, I think that might be a tough matchup for Liam Wilson to go after. Then you got Zelfa Barrett, another UK fighter. If the fight could be made and Zelfa Barrett wants to get right back in the mix, he could fight a UK fighter like Liam Wilson. But I think Liam Wilson, is from Australia. But those guys do fight a lot in the UK. So I could see Barrett and him locking horns. The only thing is, Barrett is coming off of a knockout loss to Rakhimov. Not sure his first fight back he's going to want to go in against the guy that gave hell to Emmanuel Navarrete. So we'll see. Then Roger Gutierrez, a former champion coming off of a loss to Hector Garcia last year. wouldn't be a bad option, but again, it depends on promotions, depends on if they could set it up as an eliminator. I think he would have to work with Golden Boy here. And again, I'm not 100% what his promotion is. I don't know if he has an American-based type, type promotion or not. So I think we just we got to wait and see what his options are. But I like the matchup. You know, Gutierrez coming off a loss too. He's a former champ. Not definitely a good matchup. Then you got O'Shaquie Foster, the new WBC champion. Here's the thing, Foster, I don't believe is in mandatory mode. So I think it'd be a nice thing for him if he cannot get a good solid opponent. I think a showdown with Liam Wilson would be good for both men. So there's definitely a possibility there, because I got a feeling that O'Shaquie Foster might get avoided by some of the other guys in the division because of his style. And then you got Kenichi Ogawa, the former IBF champ. He's coming off a knockout loss as well. Would he want to come back against a guy that gave hell to Navarrete? I'm not too sure about that one. But Liam Wilson, I definitely think the options are open for him. He's a top 10 guy now because of that performance. And he could come back, shake it off during the summer, take a tune-up bout, get a win. Or he could go right back in against the top tier competition, and we'll see. Because again, 130 is wide open. So that's it. That's what I got. That's the what's next on Liam Wilson, the former world title challenger. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel. I appreciate any and all support. This is True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.